On April 27, 2022, by unanimous consent, the House of Commons of Canada passed a motion recognizing that the Russian Federation is committing acts of genocide against the Ukrainian people on the basis that the crimes committed by the armed forces of the Russian Federation in Ukraine include, and I quote, mass atrocities in the invaded and occupied Ukrainian territories, systematic instances of willful killing of Ukrainian civilians and the desecration of corpses, forcible transfer of Ukrainian children to the Russian territory, torture and the imposition of life conditions causing grave suffering, and widespread instances of physical harm, mental harm, and rape. Le 23 février 2023, l'Assemblée nationale du Québec a aussi adopté à l'unanimité une motion déclarant, entre autres, qu'à l'instar de la Chambre des communes du Canada, elle dénonce les actes à caractère génocidaire commis contre le peuple ukrainien. What does such recognition of an ongoing genocide oblige the international community to do? 153 states, including Canada, ratified the Genocide Convention that was adopted on December 9, 1948 by the UN General Assembly and undertook to do two things: to prevent and to punish the crime of genocide. In addition to this conventional undertaking, it is clearly in the best interest of the international community to stop this genocide and help Ukraine win Russia's all-out war against Ukraine, since today, Ukraine is shielding us from the Third World War. Indeed, on March 7, 2024, US President Joe Biden recognized that stark reality in his State of the Union address when he said, and I quote, "Overseas, Putin of Russia is on the march, invading Ukraine and sowing chaos throughout Europe and beyond. If anybody in this room," and that's not Eugene Czolij speaking, he's the President of the United States, "thinks Putin will stop at Ukraine, I assure you, he will not. But Ukraine can stop Putin if we stand with Ukraine and provide the weapons it needs to defend itself." Putin has openly lamented that the breakup of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century, and he vowed to restore its so-called past glory. To do so, the Kremlin would need to subjugate once again former Soviet republics and satellite states, many of which are now NATO member countries protected by Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty, which commits NATO member countries to consider an armed attack against any of them to be an attack against all of them. That is why I said that Ukraine is shielding us today from the Third World War. For the record, in heroically defending its and Europe's territorial integrity, Ukraine has already paid the ultimate price, with tens of thousands of military and civilian casualties, including children. Immeasurable human suffering caused by Russia's genocidal acts, and massive destruction by Russia's relentless missile and drone attacks, which total cost of reconstruction and recovery in Ukraine has been assessed at the end of 2023 at $486 billion over the next decade. Unfortunately, this genocide could have been prevented had the West given Ukraine in November and December 2021 and January 2022 a fraction of the help that it provided since then. Today, Ukraine urgently needs sophisticated air defense systems to protect its skies from further destructive missile and drone attacks that kill and injure civilians, including children, as well as weapons and ammunition to liberate its territories from Russia's army and protect Ukraine's and Europe's territorial integrity. When journalists ask me, does Canada do enough to help Ukraine? I answer that no one, not any single person in this room, can say that I am doing enough while there is an ongoing genocide. Until we stop that genocide, everybody needs to do more. I sincerely hope that today's lecture by Nobel Prize laureate Oleksandra Matviichuk will substantially strengthen Canada's support for Ukraine, as Ukraine's victory is the best guarantee for eventual peace, security, and stability in the world. En terminant, je remercie M. Kyle Matthews, directeur exécutif de l'Institut montréalais d'études sur le génocide et les droits de la personne de l'Université Concordia, et à toute son équipe pour l'organisation de cette importante conférence. Merci à Mme Magda Popianou, vice-présidente du comité exécutif de la Ville de Montréal, pour votre présence et votre allocution au début. Je remercie à tous ceux qui ont participé au panel avec notre invité d'honneur, à savoir l'honorable Chris Alexander, ancien ministre de l'Immigration, des Réfugiés et de la Citoyenneté du Canada, M. Mark McKinnon, correspondant international principal du Globe and Mail, l'honorable Irvin Cotler, président international du Centre Raoul Wallenberg pour les droits de la personne, ainsi qu'à Mme Laura Julie Perrault, journaliste de la presse qui a animé ce panel. Je remercie également la Caisse populaire des Jardins ukrainiens de Montréal, la famille de John Lemieux, la Fondation Canada-Ukraine, la Fondation Temerté pour le soutien financier. Last but certainly not least, I wish to thank Ukraine's Nobel Prize laureate Oleksandra Matviichuk for a fascinating lecture on a very difficult subject matter. I hope that your message will not only be heard, but acted upon, so that the fundamental principles enshrined in the UN Charter are respected for our collective well-being. Enfin, je remercie à tous ceux qui sont présents aujourd'hui pour votre participation et votre intérêt sur le sujet. Merci beaucoup.